So for today's flow, we are going to be doing a 15-minute full body flow with a band. If you don't have a band, that's totally fine. You can do every single exercise without it, but I just like the band because it adds an extra resistance and it feels really great. So let's get started. Seated position, hands in our lap or on our thighs, and we're just going to take 3 deep breaths and close your eyes. So breathe in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. Big deep breath in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Great. You can open your eyes, and I'd like you to start in a down dog position and just pedal out those feet. Lift them up and then bring those heels back down to the mat and just kind of roll everything out. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tight today, so I just need a good little warm up of the calves, the hamstrings, shoulders, arms before we get moving today. So bring that left leg up in the air and bend that left leg and open the hip up. And just give me 3 circles going forward. And then bring that left leg back down. And bring that right leg up in the air. Bend that right leg, open that hip up. And give me 3 circles going forward. Good. And then just bring it back down to the mat in a child's pose. Open those knees out wide on your mat. And reach the arms forward. Give me a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Awesome. So I'd like you to start. We're going to bring that band around the thighs and keep about the middle of the thighs. We're going to start on our hands and knees, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And we're going to start with that left leg. And we're going to bring it into a 90-degree bend, flex the foot, and you're just going to lift it up an inch and down an inch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, really keep that core plugged in for 4, 3, and your hip facing down on the mat. Last 1, good, and bring it down, but don't let it touch the ground, and we're going to bring it out to the side for 10, 9, still keeping that foot flexed for 8, 7, 6, have a slight bend in the elbows for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Don't let it drop. Bring it straight back out. And we're just going to do 10 pulses right here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Really make sure that core is engaged and plugged in tight for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it right there. Give me 10 circles going forward for 10, 9, 8. These are really small circles. Really articulate that circle, I would say the size of a tennis ball. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it at the top and reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly lower it down. Good job. We're going to move on to the other side. So that right leg, we're going to lift it up into a 90-degree bend. Our hands are underneath our shoulders, knees underneath hips. And you're just going to pulse it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure that hip is facing the ground and your leg is not tilted outwards, that it's aligned with the rest of your body. For 2 and 1. Good. Slowly lower it down. Now bring it out to the side and pulse up for 10. 9. Still keeping that foot flexed and that belly plugged in. Your core is really engaged with these exercises. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring that right leg straight out, point the toes. Hip is facing the ground, not rolled out to the side. Adjust that band if you need to. We're going to do 10 pulses right here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hold it right there. Give me 10 circles going forward for 10, 9, 8. Make these really small and try to have the only thing moving is those right toes. For 5, 4, and a slight bend in those elbows as well. For 2 and 1, hold it at the top and reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower it down. You can sit it back on those knees, reach those arms forward, slowly rock side to side. You can open those knees up a little bit if you need to. Give me a deep breath in and sigh it out. Good job. Now we're going to move on to some core work with the band. So you can actually leave it right where it is, adjust it if you need to. I'm going to pull it a little farther back. I'd like you to slowly roll it down, lower back, middle back, upper back. And put your hands behind your head. Lift those legs up into a tabletop position and then diamond shape those legs. So the diamond shape is going to look like this. And you're just going to lift up out of head, neck, and shoulders. We're just going to lower it down and up. So about 45 degrees, lower it down and bring it back up. Give me 8 more. 7. And exhale when you lower, inhale when you lift for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Next, I'd like you to stay in that tabletop position, hands still behind your head, lift up, and you're going to bring one leg down and bring it back up to meet the other, and then straighten the other leg down, bring it back up. So your core is really engaged here. And I'd like you to keep that core in a neutral position. And you just slowly lower one leg down and then bring it back up to meet the other. Give me 6 more. 5. 4. I really like this exercise with the band. Just gives you a little extra resistance when you bring the leg down and really strengthens that core. For 2 and 1. Good job. You can slowly lower it down. Take a deep breath in and exhale. We're going to roll it up. We're going to take the band off the thighs. And I'd like you to bring it around your forearms like this. And in that seated position, we're going to have our feet about hips distance apart and arms forward. And I'd like you to pull out on the band to give me some of that resistance. And you're going to plug that core in tight, and we're just going to roll it down an inch until you feel that core fire up, and then sit it forward and reach for 10, 9, 8, 7. Core is really engaged here, and you're pulling on that band to give you a little bit of arm work and core work. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Next, we're going to move on to some arms. So I'd like you to put that band around the forearms again, and we're going to do a modified push-up. So you can go on your knees for this. Hands are underneath shoulders, and just on your knees, and you lift the toes and shins off the ground, and we're just going to push it down and bring it back up for 10, 9, 8. Core is plugged in here as well. 7. We're engaging the triceps, the core, the arms. This is great for full body workout. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good job. Those are tough, especially with the band. So next we're going to move on to rows. So I'd like you to place the bottom of the band in the right hand and then have the top of the band in your left hand. We're going to be in that tabletop position as well. And we're just going to pull it up and release. Pull the top of the band up with the left hand and release for 10, 9, 8. Have a slight bend in that right arm that's holding the band down as well, so you're not locking out those elbows. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good job. We're going to move on to the other arm. So now left arm is holding that band down, pulling at the top from the right arm. In tabletop position, core is engaged. We're going to pull up on that right arm and release for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release it there. And lastly, we're just going to finish with a little bit of side line. So the inner outer thighs. So you can place that band on the ankles of your feet. And we're going to move on to that left side. So we're going to be in one long plane, head, hips, and heels. Point those toes, lift up those legs, spread them apart. And we're just going to pulse the legs out for 10, 9, 8, 7. Core is really engaged here because we have to hold up both legs while pulsing at the same time. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now you can lower that bottom leg on the floor. Now we're just going to pulse that top leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. I'm going to switch it on to that right side. So keep the band around those ankles. We're going to lay it down on that right side. Head in your hands. Head, hips, and heels are in one long plane. We're going to point those toes. Use that left hand to stabilize us and lift up both legs. And then stretch them out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lower that bottom leg down. We're just going to pulse that left leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower it down. You can take that band off the ankles and just spread those legs out wide. Take a deep breath in, reach those arms up, and reach it over to the right side. Really just stretch everything out that we just worked. Reach those hands towards that right foot. And then you can walk your hands in the middle over to that left side. Reach that right arm over your head and reach towards those left toes. Deep breath in and let it out. And then I just like to sit in a butterfly position and kind of flop those legs to really stretch out those glutes from that band workout. Really great. You kind of feel this everywhere. And like I said at the beginning, if you don't have a band, that's totally fine. You're still going to definitely feel it. But I just like to use the band to add a little extra resistance. So you can just start in a seated position, get back in a seated position like we started, and reach those arms above your head. Exhale it out. Just like to roll the neck side to side and close those eyes and give me one more deep breath in through the nose. And let it out through the mouth. And you can open those eyes and we are done for the day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this flow as much as I did, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.